Hey guys, welcome back for another review, and today we will be reviewing ProtonVPN. Now, ProtonVPN is a smaller VPN service, and it's from the makers of ProtonMail, which many of you are probably familiar with. They are a Switzerland-based email provider. So in this new and updated ProtonVPN review, we will put this VPN under a microscope for analysis and run a lot of performance tests. Specifically, we want to see how ProtonVPN compares to the competition in the following key areas. How fast is ProtonVPN with servers throughout the network? Do all features work correctly? Does ProtonVPN have any problems with IP address leaks or DNS leaks? How responsive is the ProtonVPN support staff? And finally, does ProtonVPN unblock Netflix and other streaming services? All of these questions are answered in this ProtonVPN review. Overall, ProtonVPN has made some good improvements, but it still lags behind other leading VPNs in a few key areas. Here's a brief overview of my test results and research findings for this review. So the pros right off the bat, the pros of ProtonVPN: useful privacy features, no leaks, secure server networks, secure core, good privacy jurisdiction and data protection policies, user-friendly VPN apps, responsive and professional support via email, transparent company with a good track record. Now, for the few cons we found: below average speeds, high prices for access to all servers and features, torrenting restrictions, limited streaming support. Here are the pros that I found for this ProtonVPN review. Useful privacy features, no leaks detected. ProtonVPN has some useful privacy and security features. First, it offers a good leak protection settings with Windows and Mac OS apps. In addition to the kill switch and the DNS leak protection, both the Windows and Android clients offer a split tunneling VPN feature, just like we saw in the ExpressVPN review. This allows you to route traffic for certain applications outside of the VPN tunnel. ProtonVPN also offers different settings for autoconnect, protocol selection, UDP or TCP, and startup options. Now, regarding the kill switch and leak protection settings, everything worked well in testing for this review. I ran the Windows and Mac OS apps through some basic VPN tests to identify potential leaks or flaws. Everything checked out, no leaks. The screenshot that you can see here is with the ProtonVPN Windows client. The Mac OS client also did not have any leaks that I could find. Secure server network, secure core. ProtonVPN runs its entire network on a dedicated bare metal servers. This is similar to Perfect Privacy and OVPN in Sweden. Currently, ProtonVPN has 1,432 servers in 61 different countries. This isn't too bad for geographic diversity and is about on par with NordVPN. One unique aspect of ProtonVPN is their implementation of Secure Core. What is Secure Core? Now, the Secure Core feature is basically a double hop VPN server configuration routed through ProtonVPN servers in Switzerland, Sweden, or Iceland. In other words, your traffic will first get routed through one of the Secure Core servers before going to the second VPN server and exiting the encrypted tunnel. The main advantage of the Secure Core servers is that it provides an additional layer of protection. This protects against compromised server in a third-party data center. In addition to ProtonVPN, there are also other VPN providers that offer multi-hop VPN configurations. Unlike with ProtonVPN, however, these other providers do not have the same physical security infrastructure in place. To use the Secure Core servers, you will need to have a Plus or Visionary subscription. Within the ProtonVPN client, you can also toggle the Secure Core servers off and on, and then connect to the one you want. I found the Secure Core servers to generally work well without any bugs. The Secure Core servers I tested for this ProtonVPN review were not very fast. However, this is not surprising since traffic is getting routed and encrypted over 2 locations. This adds more latency and will be slower than a single hop connection. ProtonVPN's Secure Core is slower than other servers. You can see the ping is somewhat high. This would not be the best VPN for gaming where low ping is important. Gamers should instead use single hop servers close to their location. If you want the fastest VPN speeds with double VPN servers, then I would recommend NordVPN. Privacy, jurisdiction, and data protection policies. ProtonVPN is based in Switzerland. Switzerland is a good privacy jurisdiction and is not part of the Five Eyes, Nine Eyes, or 14 Eyes surveillance alliances, as noted on the ProtonVPN website. We are headquartered in Switzerland, which has some of the world's strongest privacy laws. Switzerland is also outside of the EU and US jurisdiction and is not a member of the 14-Eye surveillance network. From a business standpoint, ProtonVPN is a separate entity from ProtonMail. However, it still falls under the same parent organization, Proton Technologies AG, based in Geneva, Switzerland. There are many US VPN providers that claim jurisdiction does not matter. However, we've seen cases where VPNs have logged user data for various state agencies, such as the case with IPVanish. There have also been US VPN providers caught embedding trackers in their apps or sharing data with advertisers, such as the case with Hotspot Shield VPN. We also see this with many free Chinese VPN apps. ProtonVPN logs policy. ProtonVPN describes itself as a no-logs VPN provider. The one thing they store is timestamps, as explained on their support page. ProtonVPN respects its users' privacy and enforces a no-logs policy. This means your VPN connections remain private and we do not store information about your connections or the websites you visit. For the purpose of securing your account and making sure it's you who is signing in, we store a single timestamp of your account's most recent login. Again, we do not store any information about where you signed in from or how long you were logged in. The ProtonVPN privacy policy offers further clarification on the timestamp issue. Each time a user connects to the service, we only monitor the timestamp of the last successful login attempt. This gets overwritten each time you successfully log in. This timestamp does not contain any identifying information, such as your IP address or your location. It only contains the time and date of the login. We retain this limited information to protect user accounts from password brute force attacks. Now let's talk about their apps. First of all, I have to say that ProtonVPN has a very nice lineup of apps that are user-friendly and fully featured. The layout and design are great, and I also like the dark mode theme. In general, connections were pretty quick to establish and there really weren't any major issues. While ProtonVPN is not the best VPN for PC, the desktop clients still worked well in our tests. ProtonVPN offers dedicated clients or apps for all major devices and operating systems, including Windows, Mac OS, Android, and iOS. VPN protocols also now include WireGuard. ProtonVPN supports the OpenVPN, IKEv2, and now also WireGuard. This gives you a good selection of protocols, and the WireGuard VPN protocol should offer better performance. ProtonVPN also offers a VPN accelerator feature, which should improve speeds under some circumstances. This is an interesting name that has been used for years by Sabai Technology, which offers a VPN accelerator device for routers. Many VPNs are integrating WireGuard into their service due to the performance and security advantages. There are also various startup and notification preferences you can customize within the ProtonVPN client, as you can see in the screenshots. Now, we will take a look at some of the cons of ProtonVPN. So, below average speeds. While ProtonVPN has generally improved with speeds over the years, it's also not the fastest VPN I've tested. To measure speeds, we tested out various ProtonVPN servers around the US and Europe on a 500 Mbps connection from my colleague's location in the US. For this first round of ProtonVPN speed tests, I tested servers in the United States. Here was a ProtonVPN server in Seattle, coming in at 92 Mbps. This is not very good when you consider my baseline speed of 500 Mbps. Next, I tested a Proton server in LA. The speeds were not as fast, coming in at around 82 Mbps. You can see we are still way below the baseline speed. So next up, a server in New York offered speeds at around 101 Mbps. This was the best speed test we found in this review. Lastly, I tested a ProtonVPN server in the UK. This was the slowest ProtonVPN server I found, coming in at 20 Mbps. These are not good speed tests from ProtonVPN. There are definitely some faster VPNs on the market if you have a need for speed. Take, for example, NordVPN, which fully supports the WireGuard protocol. With NordVPN, I was able to hit 445 Mbps when testing out the NordVPN server in Seattle. One big question here is whether ProtonVPN's recent improvements would improve speeds. Specifically, we are talking about the VPN accelerator feature and ProtonVPN's implementation of the WireGuard VPN protocol. We will be testing this out more in the coming months and updating this ProtonVPN review. One of the big questions everybody has: does ProtonVPN work for torrenting? Many people are looking for the best VPN for torrenting due to the risks associated with copyright infringement. Generally speaking, ProtonVPN is a good VPN for torrenting, but with one catch. Torrenting is not supported on the free plans. This is understandable since they don't want bandwidth being eaten up by torrents. With paid plans, torrenting is completely supported and allowed without any restrictions whatsoever. Is ProtonVPN good for Netflix and streaming? ProtonVPN is not good at all for Netflix. Whichever server we tried connecting to, it always shows the Netflix proxy error message. This is a known issue, even on Proton subreddit. However, Proton support notes it works on the Visionary or Plus subscription. We didn't see any difference at all with that. Lately, it's getting harder for VPN providers to bypass Netflix and other streaming services. This is why you should definitely keep something in mind when it comes to streaming. It's always a cat and mouse game between the VPN providers and the streaming platforms, because Netflix blocks the VPN servers and Proton circumvents these blocks again. It's an ongoing struggle for any VPN provider at the moment, and it's not a dedicated Proton VPN issue. Netflix and other similar services are cracking down so hard on VPNs that some providers even drop Netflix support entirely because of how annoying it is, and it's always costly to swap servers and more for VPNs. This is sadly always the case nowadays, so you can never be sure when things will work or not. What about other streaming services? ProtonVPN does have limited support for BBC iPlayer. Another con is the fact that ProtonVPN prices are above average for full access. With most VPNs, you can select a different duration for your subscription, but you'll still get access to all the features, where ProtonVPN does things differently here. Of course, they offer the limited free VPN plan, but that only gives you a few servers. But if we take a look at paid plans, which we'll show you below, one thing you will notice with ProtonVPN is that they restrict features and servers on the lower cost plans. So, in other words, to get all features and access to the entire server network, you'll need to purchase a Plus or Visionary plan, which costs $8 to $30 per month. This makes ProtonVPN rather expensive, guys. For those wanting maximum security and privacy, I'd recommend the Plus subscription because it provides access to the secure core server network. The Visionary plan is quite expensive, but it may be a good fit if you want a combined solution. So a combined solution for VPN and secure email service, all rolled into one subscription. To get started with ProtonVPN, you can create a free or paid account. If you opt for a paid account, you'll have the option to pay with a PayPal or a credit card. However, if you're upgrading your account, you'll have the option to pay with credit cards, PayPal, Bitcoin, and cash. Bitcoin and cash can offer more privacy, but you can also pay with a virtual credit card, such as from privacy.com, using an anonymous name and address. Lastly, ProtonVPN offers a pretty good refund policy. As you can see in the screenshot of their terms and conditions page below, you're eligible to cancel your account with a refund for any unused portion of the service period within 30 days of the initial purchase. Here, any unused portion of the service period refers to the prorated remaining full days of the subscription period. Refunds or credit cards beyond the 30-day window will be considered, but at the sole discretion of the service. This is somewhat different from other VPN services in that they do not offer a full 100% refund, but rather a prorated refund of unused time. ProtonVPN email support. ProtonVPN offers support via email. Their website also has various frequently asked questions, articles, and guides, which are useful for standard questions. I use the contact form on their website to submit various inquiries to test out the support's response time for this review. Overall, I was happy with the prompt replies. My inquiries were usually answered on the same day they were submitted. Support with ProtonVPN has definitely improved over the past few years from what I remember. Most of the large VPN services offer a live chat support, which I really like a lot. If this is important, you may want to look somewhere else, but the email support was still responsive and helpful. So now let's get to the conclusion, guys. Taking everything into consideration, is ProtonVPN worth it? Sadly, no. The drawbacks with ProtonVPN remain problematic. It simply does not perform on the level of some of the leading VPNs. Server speeds can be a hit or miss, depending on your geographic area, server selected, and other factors. The other issue is that ProtonVPN remains a very expensive option, especially if you want access to all features and servers. Nonetheless, ProtonVPN remains a solid choice with excellent security from a very reputable company. So, if you think it's up your alley, it doesn't hurt to give it a test drive, but it's definitely not on our top recommendation list. Anyways, guys, thank you for tuning in to another VPN review. I appreciate your support, and we'll see you in the next one.